Hey guys, welcome to Module 2 of our SEO workshop. In this module, we are going to be working on showing up in Google Maps and local search. Now, if you are a locally based business, which 90% of us are, this is going to be huge for you. Showing up in Google Maps search results is a big deal. Why? Because if I head over here to Google, I search for a photographer in Toronto, you'll see that right at the very top, we have our maps results. So what's interesting about this is, let's say that you are just brand new and starting your website, and you have your website and it's listed on page 10 of this. Well, that's fine. If you can get onto Google Maps, that's a shortcut to showing up right away at the top of Google search, even above these regular search listings. So it really, really matters, especially because how well you do in the Google Maps portion also boosts your organic ratings and your rankings in this search section as well. So let's show you how to do this. We're going to get started by registering your Google business. So to do that, just head over to google.com/business. You'll land on a page somewhat like this. Hit Manage Now or Add My Business, and from there you're going to enter in your business name. Put in Michael Scott Photography for now. We're going to hit Next. Then you're going to enter in your address. So I have Dunder Mifflin's address right here. We're going to hop over and just put that in there, and we'll do Scranton, Pennsylvania. Perfect. And our zip code is 18501. Perfect. Now, if you have a brick and mortar location and this is all you do, you stay at one address and operate out of one specific place, then you would just hit Next. However, if you are a business who provides services around the community, not at one specific location, in different communities, make sure to check the I deliver goods and services to my customers. It is important, however, that you list a specific address with Google, that the top search results all have specific addresses listed. They don't have service locations. A service location is a big kind of bubble that'll show up here rather than a specific place and street. So if you can, I would definitely suggest going for a specific location. One other thing to note is that the closer you are to the downtown of that particular location of whatever city you're in, the better you tend to rank in Google. It's a little silly, but at the same time, when people search for a photographer in Mexico City, the closer you are to the heart of Mexico City, the better your chances of ranking. You'll notice that Mexico City is absolutely huge. However, the people who are ranking at the top are right in the central area. Okay, so what I would suggest is you can either get a P.O. box if you are not local to the center of your city, or if you have a friend or a family member who will allow you to register their address, you could do that. It's really up to you, but that's personally what I did. I found a friend who was renting a place downtown, and I contacted them and said, hey, can I use your address? And they said, yeah, that's cool. So then Google sends a postcard to verify your address with a code on the back. Once my friend received that, they just sent me a photo of that card with the code on it, and I verified with Google. It's important you don't make up an address that you don't actually own. So for instance, if I wanted to rank for Los Angeles and I put in a random address in LA, but I have no access to that address, it doesn't work because Google is going to confirm and double check by sending a physical postcard to that address. All right? So once you have your address entered in, you would hit Next. So again, if I am hiding my address from the main, and I would select that if I have a friend's address, something like that, it won't show up directly on Google search results. Then I hit Next. Then our service area, we can define the distance that we will travel within our current location. So I would put, let's say, 50 miles. Next. Enter the category that best fits your business. So I'm going to put in wedding photographer. Next. And contact phone number, you'll enter in your number. Current website URL, you are going to enter that as well. Bam. Then we just hit finish and we can verify our business. And Google is going to send you a postcard to verify your address. Once you receive that postcard with the code on the back, you can verify. So this may take 1 to 3 weeks for that postcard to arrive, especially if you are in a country like Australia. When I registered a business in Australia, it probably took closer to a month. So make sure you do this right away, and within 4 weeks you will have it. Once you have that finished and you have that postcard and everything is confirmed, you can go through and actually finish building out your business profile. Hey guys, we are going to continue with our SEO workshop where we are working on Google Maps and local search. So by now, hopefully you have registered your business with Google Maps. If not, you are missing out on a huge advantage for SEO because 46% of all Google searches are location-based. But get this is the crazy part. 55% of local businesses, that means over half of them, haven't even registered their business with Google. So that means that the other half are getting double the inquiries and work and listings and rankings. So it's very, very important that you register your business with Google. Now, assuming that you've done that from our last video, we are going to head over and finish building out our profile. So I'm going to click on my Google Business profile. So you can go to business.google.com to enter this manager. And here you can see we've got a snapshot. Yours might look a little bit different because Google is constantly tweaking what their tools look like. However, all we're going to do is go into our info. We're going to update and add the info for our business. So I've gone through and I've added my wedding photography name, what category of business I have. One thing that you should note is Google has erased my address for my business. I've just realized this after looking at it. And the reason for that is I have two businesses. No, thank you. I have two businesses. One is Tailor Fit Photography, one is Films, and I registered them with the same address. And I guess Google looked at that and said, no, we can't have two businesses at the same location. So they said ixnay on that. So I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to register my business or maybe switch that up. Hopefully you don't have that problem. So you're going to go through, switch up your info, and just make sure that it is accurate. I just put open 24 hours because I look at my email all the time and because this helps with listing in Google searches on, say, a Sunday when someone searches for a wedding photographer. I want to show up. I don't want to show up as closed. Then we're going to add special hours if you have them, your phone number, website, services. So I would go through and I would add my different services that I offer. So I go in here and I would make sure that I have wedding photography listed. I've got engagement photography, elopements. So you could just go in and you could add, let's say I have pet photography, and I go in there and I would add pet photography, and I would just add a little bit of pet session, and let's do $8,000 because I feel like my pets are worth it. And then I would go through and say, want amazing photos of your pets. Make sure to grab them with this all-inclusive session. And so you go through and you would add different prices, different offerings, different things that you do with your business, and that's all just adding keywords, SEO, more information for Google to work with. When people are searching for pet photography, you might show up, right? So this is all pretty straightforward. You just go through, make sure your info is updated and correct. Your shop description is where you can insert your keywords. So Tailor Fit Photography is a Kelowna-based wedding photography studio. That's the city that I want to rank for. And then I have some different information and a call to action. So we offer a complimentary engagement session with every wedding. And then let us know if you're in Kelowna or Vernon, again, a nearby city that I also would like to rank for. So I've included that in my description. And you can add photos of your business. So I would very much suggest that you do that. So go through, add photos, your best portfolio pieces you would add in here. So I've updated some photos in here, and then when someone actually pulls up the info on my business, guess what pops up? This. Actually, this is the exact listing that they will see, all these photos. So make sure that those are up to date and your best stuff. And from there, you are pretty much set. The one last thing that you can add is your labels, which is essentially your keyword. So I've added in all the cities that I service and different variations. So I've got wedding photographer, wedding photography. You get the point. So go through there, add your keywords, and you are good to go into the next video. Hey guys, in this video we are going to continue our Google Maps and local search ranking strategies by diving into building reviews. Now, why build reviews? Because reviews equal trust and authority. And why does trust and authority matter? Well, obviously it matters to clients, but it also matters to Google because, as we talked about earlier, trust and authority, Google says, is worth ranking. So if you build that trust and authority with people, if you have lots of established reviews, you are going to have a way easier time showing up higher in Google Maps search. That is the #1 way you can climb the rankings. If there are multiple photographers in your area listed under Google Maps, this will set you apart because hardly any of them have many reviews. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go in here and I type in Kelowna wedding photographer, and we look in the Google Maps results, you're going to see right at the top here is Tailor Fit Photography. That's my business. And the reason that we are ranking at the very top is look at the number of reviews, 48. Look at the next result, 16. Look at the third result, 8. And then we have 8, 8, 19. Kevin Trowbridge is not doing as well, but that's probably because he's rated 4.6 instead of 5 stars like these other reviews. So that's the number one thing you can do to start ranking. We're going to try and build 30 reviews for you on your Google page. I'm going to show you 3 strategies to do it. It's quick and it's pretty simple. You just have to do a tiny little bit of work. So we're going to hop over here. And the first thing is I've got this Google review request email template. Now, the number one way to get reviews is simply to ask. That's all it is. You just need to ask people to review because most of the time they will be willing, and most of the time people will not leave a review unless you specifically ask for it. Or you do such an amazing job that they go over and above. But even then, they'll probably leave it on Facebook or they'll write you a direct message. You need to ask them to go to your Google page to get these reviews. That's why most photographers don't have the reviews, even if they have testimonials on their website, because they're not directing people to this page. So one big tip, I find the best way to get the reviews is to ask multiple times. You don't want to do it just once and just casually say it. You want to ask at the very beginning. So for example, with a wedding client, I send them an initial review request when I deliver their engagement photos. So that's the first time I ask for a review. After the wedding, I send them a sneak peek with the photos, so they're thrilled on those, and then I also send a link to my Facebook page to leave a review on there. If they haven't yet left a review on Google, I will make that a Google link instead. And then at the very end, when I deliver their photos, I ask a third time. So I ask 3 times for every single client. Now, this strategy is equally applicable whether you're a mechanic or a car salesman or a photographer or a real estate agent. You can do the exact same thing. You'll just have to tweak it a little bit to fit your business. The key is that every time someone does business with you, make sure you follow up, thank them for giving you your business, make sure you can do everything in your power to impress them, and then ask them for the review. And if they don't leave a review, just follow up 2 weeks later and say, hey, I was wondering, did you have a second to leave me a quick review? By the way, how's that new car treating you, right? And you can do this several times in the process, and you're going to get way more reviews simply by asking. And I don't just mean way more, I mean it's the difference between getting 0 reviews and the people who get tons of reviews and dominate in Google search. So you really need to do this. Now, the first thing that you need to do if you do not have any reviews yet is go out and ask your previous clients. The ones who are happy working with you, just send them a quick email. So I've got this after session email that I send people and say, hey, I'm excited. You can use this template and insert it in your emails, but you can just go ahead and contact your previous clients. Do that right now. Pause this video. Contact them and say, hey guys, I am hoping you're doing well. Just wanted to check in and see how you're liking everything. Wondering if you could do me a really quick favor. If you had a good time working with me, I'm trying to get the word out about my business. Would you leave a quick review? And then you're going to find your business and get them the link. So you're just going to click on your business on local maps, and we're going to right click. Actually, you can just click reviews. How about this? There we go. Copy that link. Bam. And you can either insert the link like this, which is a little bit ugly, or in your email software, you would simply highlight and go insert hyperlink or whatever the equivalent is on your email and go apply. And shabing shabam, now they can just click that little link. So it's up to you, whatever works better. And then you send them that link. Send that to all of your previous happy customers. Now, the next way that you're going to get reviews is by asking your friends. So friends and family, I would not post and send a mass email to everybody. The reason being, if you do that, your email will tend to get lost in the crowd. People figure, oh, somebody else must have helped them by now. You need to ask people directly and ask them one at a time. So I've got a little template for here. You just send them a text, something like this. Hi, hope you're awesome. Would you do me a huge favor? I'm trying to get good ratings on my Google business page. Any chance you'd be willing to give me a 5-star rating or review? If you think my photography is worth recommending, or if you just like me as a person, you can insert that too. It would mean the world to me. And 9 times out of 12, probably not 9 times out of 10, people will very willingly and very happily leave you that review. So do that. Contact 20 to 30 of your friends and family and just ask them to leave a quick review. Now, if they've never actually done business with you before, that's totally okay. They don't necessarily have to actually have worked with you and do a whole write-up on what it was like and what kind of photos they booked. All they have to do is go in here, write a review, give a quick rating, and say, Ryan is a stellar guy, and he tells great cat jokes, right? Obviously, you don't necessarily want the great cat jokes, but they can just give you a character reference. That's totally fine and totally okay. So you could just put 2 thumbs up. Whatever it is. So just make that clear to people. because sometimes people will say to themselves, well, I'm not that uncomfortable recommending your business if I've never actually done business with you. Say, hey, it's not about that. I just want a character reference, and you'll get better results that way. Now, the third way that you can get reviews is through a Facebook post or contest. So this is one that I did in September 2016 when I actually wanted to start ranking my Google page. And so I went and I just said, hey friends, I need some help. Would you take 8 seconds, make sure that you specify that it's going to be quick and simple and painless, follow this link and rate my business 5 stars. That would be a huge help. And then I put an incentive, and it's kind of silly. This is back when Pokemon Go was still a thing, hashtag RIP. In return, I will write a 2 to 3 sentence poem in your honor, or just say thank you, your choice. P.S. If you're too busy catching wild Pokemon, I totally understand, right? So you could post something like this. Doesn't have to be as goofy as mine was. However, look at the engagement I got. So I got 8 people who liked it, and 34 people commented. They all left reviews. And so that's where most of my reviews came from to start, were just these people. And so I went through, and for every person who did one, I left a poem. It was as simple as that, and I gained 30 reviews that way in all of something like a day. So that is a huge thing. Now, one thing to note, you ideally want to have your reviews come in a way that looks organic to Google. So if they see 45 reviews come in on the exact same day, and then you stop getting reviews, you have no more reviews coming in, they are going to sense something fishy about that. So ideally, you would space this out. You would contact maybe 1 customer per day, or just follow up with your customers at different spaces, contact a new friend every day for the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then you will slowly and surely build these Google reviews, and Google will say, oh, this is organic, this looks natural, and they will start to rank you. Now, if you get a bunch of bulk reviews all at the same time, it's still beneficial. It's still going to help you in the long run. It's just that Google won't trust you quite as much as if it looks organic and it appears to be happening in a way that is sustainable and not fishy, just genuine, right? So that's what you need to do, is go ahead and get your Google reviews. That will give you big bonus points in the eyes of Google and also in the eyes of your customers, right? Because which business would you contact if you had a choice? The one who had 48 5-star ratings, or the one who only had 8 or 16 or 4 or a 4.5-star rating? You get the point. So that is it for this lesson. Go out, get yourself at least 30 Google reviews, set a goal, and get started. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, welcome to the last video of our Google Maps portion of this SEO workshop. By now, you've learned a ton about Google Maps, I'm sure. You've learned how a well-reviewed Maps listing can land you right at the top of Google search fast, and you have also gone ahead, created your Maps listing, filled out your business profile, and have collected 30 plus reviews in the process. So go you! You are now well on your way to ranking in Google. So that's awesome. We're going to head into the next module soon, but first we just need to talk about ongoing maintenance. So obviously, maintenance is probably the least sexy word in all of any creative's vocabulary, but it is an essential part of keeping your Maps listing ranking and your website ranking, because as we mentioned before, active content is considered relevant by Google. So you need to keep your Maps listing active and engaged. So luckily, this is super straightforward and simple. It's as easy as keeping your page active, posting new content. So what kind of content does this mean? Well, there are 3 main types. One is new portfolio images. So as you are updating your portfolio, just make sure every once in a while to chuck a new image onto your Google Maps listing. So that's as simple as going over here, going to add photo, finding the photo that you want to add, and updating it onto your listing. Now, the next thing that you can update with is links to new posts. You simply go to create post, and you're going to add your featured image, write a short write-up on my post. So my post is awesome, check it out. And then I would link to the post here, and that will keep my content fresh in Google's eyes. Now, lastly, the one thing that you want to make sure to do is respond to all reviews on your Google page. Whether they're good or bad, Google looks at it better and looks at your business as being maintained and active when you are responding to reviews. So when people leave a review, hey, it's just good etiquette to respond and say, thanks so much for your review. We really loved hanging out with you. We loved working with you. Or thank you for your feedback. And if you have a negative review, you have the chance both to apologize to that person, which you should always do whether you are right or wrong. Just side note, that is a quick tip. Always apologize and try to empathize first, and then for future customers, you can explain exactly why the situation worked out the way that it did and provide hopefully good reasons for the way that things turned out. So make sure to respond to your reviews. It's as simple as going to reviews and hitting reply. Make sure to add new posts and new images to keep your content fresh, and you are well on your way to maintaining that ranking Google Maps listing.